It was a sunny day, and Sackthing was out looking for some cool levels to play. Oh, if they make me rhyme, I'm gonna feel weird. She found a ladder, so she decided to climb up using the R1 button. Oh good, it's not gonna rhyme. At the top of the ladder, there was a big red button, so she jumped on it just to see what it did. Cool! Now she could use the bounce pad. All she had to do was press the X button. I wish that CB had not chosen to go with Sackboy and instead went with Sackthing, because now I'm gonna have to change the dialogue forever. Another button, but be careful, that red slime doesn't look nice. The sound is also somewhat muted during that part because I've had a similar feeling when I bailed out on a ski hill. Oh gosh. Axel! I don't know if I've ever hit my head hard enough to get a sound down effect. Maybe you could jump and swing your way up. Now, you know, look, this everything here is lovely. I gotta say, but like having actual game elements in a level where everything else is mostly represented, most everything else is represented by created objects to fit the theme. I don't know if that's really the best way to go about that. That red fellow looks mean. Quick, jump on his brain to pop him. Clunk! There's a fish, though. I do like this... Oh wow, scene change? Scene change? I like this presentation a lot. It's a very cool looking level, it's a very neat idea. Oh, thank dogs. I've heard concussions can be pretty bad. At least that's what everybody told me the last time I hit my head, so, you know, I'm inclined to believe them. Why use the same red as the hazard? I wonder what will happen if I move that tag. Death! Death will happen. Yes? Are these other chips gonna do anything? Are they just Dorito chips? Man, why you gotta have Zack Snyder in our game? We were doing so well. We had no reason to talk about Zack Snyder, and then all of a sudden, there's Batman v Superman. Yes, I know they're the comic versions, but you know, interestingly enough, I've also got the gender of the player ambiguous and made CZ. I've never actually used the term Sackthing at any point in the dialogue. It helps that the only voice in the story is speaking directly to you. That is really cool. I wonder if I noticed that when I did the review. Because CZ was in the before. But I was kind of on about the non-gendered terms even in the before. Oh, are you floaty fluid? Of course you are. Of course you are. Why wouldn't there be floaty fluid? Actually, that's not totally fair. There was already floaty fluid directly in the level. I've only used that term in the adventure description, and there I use sack person. Which is also a perfectly viable way to handle it. Sack person is just as gender neutral as sack thing is. Garfield looks... What? Garfield? Are we gonna have Garfield Eats? Because I don't think I could handle Garfield Eats. Everything I've heard about it sounds terrifying. Although I guess the physical location doesn't exist anymore. Look, you've added in so many power-ups. You don't need this many power-ups. I was never really a focus point to really make that way in any stage of development. It just seemed like the only real option. And that's, like, it's good that you did. It's an appreciated thing. Unless you were talking about Garfield Eats, in which case, I think we'd have problems with that.